Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of slightly delayed episode of TFG Radio. It's a week since Champs Cup. Today I'm joined by my teammates,
Yay.
John,
Hello,
and Danny.
I feel a deep sense of shame. I should have recorded a car apology video, but I'm
Oh
here.
my god!
And I'm willing to accept my penance as the fucking concrete shoes on Rex.
We'll get into that.
Nice.
We'll get into that. I'm barely getting my voice back now after a week. It's been a long time since I lost my voice. I think the last time I lost my voice was maybe like 2-3 years ago at after Atlantic City, maybe. But it's been a while. So this is basically a recap of Champs Cup. Not much else going on right now. We did have LGT, the London GT, this past weekend. Actually, it ended today as of the time of this recording because they play Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, really? It's kind of cool.
Yes, I guess.
Everybody hates Mondays anyways.
This is why we had a war of independence. That's all I'm saying.
But, yeah, so... So I don't know. Don't ask me anything about London GT because I didn't pay attention.
That's fair. I watched a little bit of the stream.
I didn't watch any of it because I forgot.
Joe was doing it. Joe's from War Games Live was doing it.
Yes.
Damn, right. Joe went all the way out there?
So I watched a little bit. Apparently.
Well, he did WTC back in August.
Yeah.
And it's the second year he's done it.
But he just did Champs Cup because he was there at Champs Cup and then going from Dallas to fucking London. Damn. What
He's a man of the world. He's a man of the world now.
Mm-hmm. World
champion.
traveler.
That's all I know.
So all of us made the trek to Dallas.
Yeah.
How'd you guys like the hotel? I've been there before because I was there for LSI.
I liked it. It was fun.
I like that pool, man.
Yeah.
That pool was great.
The rooms were nice.
The pool area and the hotel in general was very, very nice. Pleasing to the eyes.
Yeah.
Well, it helped with the other convention that was there. That made Friday and Saturday a lot more pleasant for sure.
Yeah.
But also,
it was
a whole ass grocery store. That's a 5-minute walk away. So
that was nice too. With
getting my morning protein shakes and caffeine,
stocking up on water and stocking up on everything else we need.
That was really nice.
Yeah, the other convention was. What was it? Influencer convention?
Yeah, it was like women in digital marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
That's what the official title was?
Yeah.
Something along them lines.
All I know is there was a lot of TikTok videos and
filmed,
people recording
made.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got there Thursday because it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Uh-huh.
You guys got there.
Yeah.
It was us three. Jeff, who was our team captain. Jeff, I'm not serious, but I'm totally serious, captain.
I'm not serious, but here's my whole spreadsheet with my laptop.
He was only serious because he has to do the SoCal team tournament.
It was practice for the SoCal team tournament, essentially.
He knew that the scrubs weren't taking it seriously.
Well, the two scrubs.
What are you talking about?
Well, the one scrub. The other scrub just sucked.
Yeah.
And I won't name names. I'm not going to name
scrub. Names. The ultra scrub.
Ultra scrub.
You're only third from the bottom, Danny.
Only.
So it was Jeff, Keith French. If you know Keith, he's one of the judges that judges with me at the other FLG events, especially like BAO, SoCal Open, LVO. Who else was on our team?
I have
the list right here. Richard Cozart. For those of you that don't know who Richard is, Richard made the top 8 in this past LVO with the Imperial Guard Army with the Bane Blade variant, because I forget which one. I think it's the one where you can carry 20 guys in it.
We had this discussion last episode. It's the Storm whatever.
Storm Lord.
That's like half the tanks.
I know.
It's the Storm Hammer Bane Lord Hammer Blade.
Yes.
Lance.
And we had Will from Dallas.
Well, that's last. We'll talk about Will last. So Richard,
Derek,
and then we had Derek. I believe that was everybody. Yeah, and then lastly, because we had someone drop at the last minute, we had to pick up a mercenary that from the local area, and we got Will Davis, who was our Necron player, and Will was indispensable to say the least.
Yeah, Will was the best.
Will was our fucking anchor, man. Like, Jesus Christ, what a
in a good way.
Yeah,
in a lot of good ways.
Yeah,
he showed us around town. He chauffeured us around town.
He did,
and took us to different places to eat.
Yeah, and he totally could have just been like, "Cool, I'm here to play," and then leave. But he didn't. He hung out, took us places, gave us recommendations. We had the best German food of all time.
Oh yeah, the Bavarian Grill in Plano, Texas, y'all.
Yeah.
If you're local to Plano, Texas, and you have not had Bavarian Grill, you need to get your ass there.
Mm-hmm. It was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just for Army Comp, I had brought Chaos Space Marines, if you know the list. It's just all the tanks. Cozart had Astra Militarum. Derek brought Custodes. Danny had Chaos Knights. John had Imperial Knights.
Yay!
Will had Necrons. Keith had Eldar.
Boo!
And Jeff had Chaos Demons.
Also probable boo.
I believe we talked about this in our last episode where we knew who we were playing already.
Yeah, we were playing Vanguard. Yeah, we knew.
Yeah, Vanguard Tactics. We already knew.
So I'm not a big fan. UK does this even in their singles events sometimes, where they do the round one pairings like a week in advance. I personally am not a big fan of knowing, because depending on who you paired against, it can affect your morale.
Sure.
I like to be surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we knew for about a week or two that we were paired into Vanguard Tactics. So I think Jeff gave us a 5% chance of getting a draw.
Yes.
Which, to be honest, was very generous on Jeff's part.
Yeah, I don't think we had any chance of getting a draw.
And very optimistic. I would give us a 1%.
Okay. Sure.
It's the only time we're a 1%er.
Sure.
So it was against Vanguard Tactics. Stephen Box was there, who I believe
I played.
Danny.
Yeah.
Was it you or John?
No,
I didn't get to play him. I wanted to, but I didn't get to.
So Danny got to play Stephen Box. That game lasted like all of 20 minutes.
No, we went like a good 90.
Okay, how much of that 90 was just talking?
We actually played at a pretty brisk clip. He had a lot of dice to roll. That slowed things down. Highlight of that game was him overwatching a healthy knight who moved out of cover to try and get in and do something. Overwatching it from 22 wounds to fucking 0 with one activation.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he recorded it. So if you look at Vanguard Tactics, you can listen to me cackle madly as he rolls 4 out of 5 sixes on the Melta Overwatch without rerolls.
My God.
Wow. Yeah. And then me failing every save. Just cackling like a fucking
What can
idiot.
men do against this reckless hate?
Exactly. I mean, at that point, what are you going to do but laugh, right? Like, the entire...
Yeah.
No, nothing. You can't do
My
anything
dice didn't love me. I'm just going to say that. And my opponent's dice loved them.
All right, Alan.
Yeah. Like, hey, what are you talking about here? What are you talking about?
So that's who Danny got paired with, and Danny scored 0 points. And as we go through the tournament, we'll notice a theme with Danny.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
Who'd you get paired into?
The Grey Knight player.
Grey Knights.
Yep. And I found out just how nasty Drago is with Terminators when he can deep strike in and then have a 6-inch charge.
Very good.
Yeah.
And John got 0 points.
I also found out how much fun it is when your entire army of knights shoots at one Grandmaster Dread Knight and does 3 wounds, and then another one charges one, and with Tank Shock and the Big Fist does 3 wounds.
Nice.
Good times.
So in the team events, people usually have a role as to what their army's supposed to do or provide for the team. I know my role in general was to score the middle points, generally between 8 to 12, around that range. Not get 20-0'd at least, or score something. I don't know what your guys' role was. I think it was.
Mine was supposed to get big scores. Mine was supposed to get put into good matchups just to get big scores. And spoiler, that didn't fucking happen.
Nah.
Bitter, not bitter. John, was yours more or less the same? I forget what our discussion was as a team.
Sort of. I was supposed to be able to play like a foil to some lists,
Okay.
which also
I think that worked for a couple of games for you, though.
It was okay.
We had Keith play into his Eldari into like probably one of the best armies in the game right now with TJ with Thousand Suns, played by one of the better players of TJ Lanigan.
Yep.
But it looked like the best. This is funny. Well, to me, the best score we got in that round was a draw.
Nice.
So, and that was Kozart going into Dark Angels with Ben Jones, and that was a 10-10 draw.
So we all lost.
Everyone else got either 0. Derek got at least 2. Will got 7. I got 7. Now I got paired into Chaos Demons, and that one was and the player, which was Nathan Roberts, played very cagey because mine's a very shooty army, so we just kept everything around Be'lakor. I killed what I could kill, and it basically came down to him scoring his I think his secondaries a lot better than mine. So, because I believe that was tipping point for that.
Yes, that was.
So yeah, so that was game 1. The score was 134 for Vanguard Tactics to our 26.
Nice, good times.
Off to a good start.
Very good start.
Then we had lunch.
By the pool.
By the pool. After every game, we went to the pool.
Yes. I said that I was going to do that on the last show.
And the funny thing was, no one else, out of all, I think 1 or 2 other people joined us during the course of the weekend.
Tim joined us.
But no one else went to the pool.
Yeah, waste of a good fucking pool.
I think most of them had Airbnbs.
Because a lot of guys had Airbnbs, yeah.
Yeah, because there was a couple teams we played and we talked to them about it, and they're like, "Oh, we got an Airbnb," and we're like, "Well, I asked, do you have at least a pool?" And they're like, "No." So I'm just.
It was also hot and humid as shit, so that pool felt great.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah. Round 2, we played Banff, BAMF.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a bunch of locals. It's a local team. John, you got paired into League of Votan.
Yep. And
how did that go?
Well, I tried to do the one thing I could do, which is destroy the tanks first. The Hecaton Land Raider and the other 2 tanks first, and then try to whittle down his Terminator Bros, but I couldn't do all of it, and so I ended up losing because the Terminator Bros were able to take me out. Yeah.
The Hearthkin?
Yes.
Okay.
I made my play. It didn't work.
And so you got 0 on that one. Danny?
I did.
Pass.
You played against Death Guard.
Pass. Man, I didn't do shit against that Death Guard. Everything was like -1 to hit, but you're also -1 weapon skill. So I'm hitting on 4s on everything.
Okay.
And just I cannot do anything against this army.
And for those that don't know, Danny took more of a melee army. John had the more shooty army.
Yes,
between the 2
I
of them.
did.
So, yes, so that makes sense because you had to get into grips with them. And once you get into close combat with them, there's all kinds of debuffs.
Yeah, I just could not do any meaningful damage, and he just kept picking shit up on a whim.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one I got paired into. Oh, that's what I got paired to a Mechanicus because nobody knew what the army did.
I mean, I still don't know what Mechanicus does. So,
this particular Mechanicus list kills vehicles.
Well, there we go.
There was a lot of las cannons in that army, and we ended up basically trading pieces back and forth and scoring our primary. And scoring our secondaries. We ended up. I had like a 1-point win, but basically we got a draw. It was not. Every time anything popped out to shoot, the opposing side destroyed it. Whether it was the Dune Walkers or Dune whatever the fuck they're called, the spider tanks, the Striders, all that stuff, it would just pop up, kill one of my things, and then the rest of my stuff would just kill it. So it just came down to that. Warp Talons did okay. But during the course of the games, I realized I needed that extra. The Nurglings and the Beast of Nurgle would have helped a lot with the secondaries. But I couldn't use them because Jeff had demons in his army, so I was limited to just what I had in the CSM list. So that was that. Keith had Blood Angels. Kozart got another draw against Orcs. Jeff won his. Derek had a small loss. And Will got a small win. But we still ended up losing 94 to 86 on that one.
Yep.
So Danny and John are still up there with 0 points. If you follow the Facebook page, I kept track of the points. I actually earned 10 with the draw. Doing my job, what I'm supposed to be doing. So it wasn't too bad. That was it for the day.
Yeah.
So the format was 2 games per day, 4 hours each round.
God damn it, Warhammer should be played. That was so nice.
It was super nice, yes.
Well, that's because you guys finished in like a half hour.
Whatever. Yes. I don't care. I'm saying it was nice from my perspective. My perspective is
I think I finished in like 3 hours for the first 2 games. There was one game where I took like the longest, and that was I think round 5. I can't remember now. Well, I'll remember once I see the rest of this list. So 0-2 after day 1, but we're hanging out the pool. So,
and then German
still winners. Was it that night?
Yeah. First night was German food. It was great.
Okay, yeah, it was good. The beer was good, and I don't normally drink beer, but I had a beer there. But it went down smooth.
Yeah.
So day 2, round 3. We play against the Benchwarmers. And I think where are you? Danny played against World Eaters.
Yep.
How did that go, Danny?
I feel like I went second, which is what I wanted. I felt like I won the positioning game the first 2 turns, and I did full send. I got him to do full send on hit top of 2. He did some damage, picked up a big knight, which, I didn't think would happen, but that's all right. And my counterattack hit and did fuck all because he made a lot of 4-ups, and Angron was still alive. Demon Prince still alive. And then it just was just a big loss. But I scored 8 points, motherfucker.
Oh my god. I can hear the bitterness in your voice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great game. He was a fun time. Like I will say that all of my opponents were fucking gems. So
right. Oh, this is the one where I got paired into the Grey Knights.
Yeah. And
I realized what the issue John was having.
Yeah.
When he played the Grey Knights, I ended up losing, but it was only 11-9. I lost by like 6 points or something, just enough to put him over to the 11 instead of the draw, which is kind of what the list is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I did pick up that big squad with Drago, but I had to throw everything at it, and then Abaddon had to go in and clean up by killing like 4 or 5 Grey Knight Terminators along with Drago by himself. For those that don't know, the list I run is Vindicators, Predators, all based around Hellbrutes and Abaddon with the reroll hits.
Right.
And Abaddon with reroll hits and getting both sustained and lethals, it's pretty good. Especially because, and I use the big swing, which is 3 damage, so each failed save is a dead Terminator. And he also has devastating wounds. And I think I got like 2 or 3 of those in that one. It's one of the few times where I actually threw him into combat.
Nice.
But yeah, I ended up with 11-9 loss. I lost by like 6 or 7 points. It was pretty close. Or I was able to keep it close. And then Keith French got a small win. Kozart's got a 13 win. Derek, surprisingly, got a 20-0 win.
Yeah, he did.
Derek was like our 20-0 king, man.
Against Orcs with his Custodes. And then John, how did your game go? That you played against their opponent's custodes.
Yeah, that went really well. I won that one.
Yeah, yours was 18-2.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He made some mistakes with his Venatari, not choosing properly when to uppy downy.
Oh, okay.
And he also left me space in his backfield to bring my Mysterious Guardian on within charge range of some Terminators, which I handled pretty easily. I got his Warlord on turn 2, so I became honored. So I was making 5s and 6s for Feel No Pains. And I didn't make a lot of 6s over the weekend, but the couple games where I got honored, I made a lot of 5s when I got honored. So yeah, it was good. It was a good game. He was a great opponent. It was fun.
Yeah, and this is one of the few rounds that Will actually lost. He only got 2 points, and then Jeff got a win with 14. And this was our first win of the day with 88-72. So we just squeaked by 2 points for the win. I think that was the one we had to wait for Kozart to finish his game to see if we got a win or a draw.
We did, yeah.
Over the course of the weekend, Richard and Keith were usually the last two to finish. Keith, because he has like 18 units he has to move in 2 different phases. He has like 2 movement phases, 5 shooting phases. There's a lot of moving parts in that Eldar list. It's an MSU list, so so that was round 3. That was our first game. So finally on the board with a win. And we went to the pool again. So as we want to do. Danny and Keith had gone to the market, right? And gotten sandwiches.
Didn't Derek do that?
No, Derek's wife did.
Or Derek, sorry. It wasn't Keith, it was Derek.
I think it was Derek's wife did, actually.
Yeah, each day they went to the market and got us sandwiches to eat something during lunch. So
yeah, that was
nice of them. Round 4, we played against Wombat Wargaming. Richard got a 17-point win against Gene Stealer Cult. Derek got 18 points again against Orcs again. We'll come back to Derek in this round in a little bit. This one I got paired into Votan, and up to this point, this is my biggest loss. I have never played against Votan in 10th edition.
Okay.
And I learned that they do very well against vehicles. So I got a 5 point. I got 5 points in my loss. I did kill a few things, but he was able to get the right cards and things like that to get the extra points in the secondaries. I think that's where he pulled away. It was in the secondaries. Also, just my list is not built for the secret missions. So even if I'm trailing in the primary, I can't do secret missions, even if I wanted to, or it's very difficult for me to do secret missions. Will got a 17-point win. Danny, how was your game?
I went against another Chaos Knight player who had just one Lancer and a bunch of little guys. And I missed on one turn. I went second, which was very helpful. I set up a turn where I could pick up, should have picked up 4 War Dogs, maybe 5 if I got lucky, and ended up picking up 1 because 2 of my carnivores bounced, and my big knight failed a 4-inch charge with a reroll.
No.
And that was basically the game. But I scored 2 points. I scored 2 points. But yeah, God said no.
Yeah. I had a game like that where I had to make 3 3-inch or 4-inch charges in a turn and made none of them, and I was like, cool, so I lost. Good game.
Yep.
Was it this round?
It might have been. Who would I play?
So for those that have been playing for a long time or have listened to our podcast for a long time, will know the name Josh Death.
Yeah.
Now, Josh's real name, last name, is Dearth. So his real name, he changes to Death for whatever high school, teenager, emo reasons. So going into this round, the team, the Wombats, asked us, do we know who Joshua Dearth is? Because they have a player whose name is Joshua Dearth. And for the longest time, until this moment, everyone thought
that's who it was. It was the other guy.
Josh. It was the bad Josh. Right. Josh Death. It is not. It's not the same person. This person is much younger.
Yes.
And as far as I know, has not kicked any dogs. He was playing Chaos Space Marines, and that's who you played, John.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what his list was.
Yes.
But you only got 1 point.
This was the game where I needed to make, I had a turn where I had 3 charges lined up through about 3 inches each, and I didn't make any of them. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Nice. I even re-rolled one of them. Command re-roll. No. So I technically had 4. 3-inch charges. 4-inch charges.
So John got 1 point.
Yeah, that was great.
And then Jeff Poole was able to win 17-3 against Grey Knights, which is funny enough. Demons do very well against Grey Knights, or at least Bloodletters do. So what ended up happening was we had an 85-75 tie draw. We missed the win by 1 point.
Yep.
And I mentioned we'd come back around to Derek. Talking to Derek afterwards, he said he felt bad because although he did get an 18-point win, he did take his foot off the gas.
Boo.
Which allowed the orc player to get those 2 points.
Boo.
So lesson for the day is, especially in a team event, don't take your foot off the gas.
No. See your enemies driven before you and hear the lamentations of their women.
Keith was the last one to finish again. Keith only got 8 points, but when talking to them, he knew that we needed as many points as possible. And he said he only needed to get 1 victory point in the game to get us that 1 point to get us the win.
Oh, really?
And for 2 turns, as much as he tried by exchanging secondaries, he wasn't getting the secondaries that would let him score bigger.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, so we got a draw, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we ended the day. We spent time at the pool. And that night we went to Lockhart, right?
Yeah, Lockhart's for barbecue.
Lockhart's for barbecue.
Old Town Plano.
Ooh, that was good.
Really, the highlight of that was banana pudding.
Yes, which Danny made.
I literally had to come home and I made a batch. I dug out my grandmother's old fucking recipe and made it back.
Nice.
I was like, hell yeah.
I like it.
And you know what? It's pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good.
So that was the end of day 2. Going into day 3, we're 1-2-1. I'm actually feeling pretty good.
I'm glad
I was. I don't know about you guys. John should. He at least got 18 at one point.
I was fine.
Danny, were you doing okay over there?
I just try to remember that life is a series of ups and downs, and you just got to ride the clouds. And I don't need to be good at this game to validate my worth as a person. And I'm just going to keep saying that while I drink heavily and cry.
I'm still recovering. Don't make me laugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
This was my best performance this round. Round 5 was my best performance.
Round 5, we're playing.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my mic falling.
That sounded like a mic falling. It still sounds like a mic falling.
It's literally a mic drop, but not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
In this round, we played against called FAC Buddies, FAAC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it stands for. It's just funny to say.
It is.
I got paired into Chaos Demons again. This was notable because it's turn. I think I looked at you, Danny, after my turn 1, and I made a face because what happened was I spread out. I went first.
Yep.
And I spread out a little too far. And so he dropped down a Bloodthirster and Scarbrand. 6 inches away from two of my Vindicators, and he made both charges.
Nice.
He ended up killing both. In my turn 2, I for my secondaries I drew Bring It Down and Assassinate.
Nice.
And the rest of my army proceeded to kill Scarbrand and the Bloodthirster in one turn.
Nice.
And that got me 17 points from the secondary.
Wow.
The following turn, I dropped the Warp Talons to charge his Lord of Change. And I had 40 attacks. I roll the first 20. I do 10 wounds. My opponent says, hey, is it okay if I use your dice to roll the saves just to make it easier? My response was, it's fine, but you probably shouldn't, because the dice you're using, because he was making a lot of 4-ups, not enough to save his Bloodthirster and Scarbrand, but enough to make me worried about how this game was going to go. And I was like, you've been rolling pretty good with your dice. You probably shouldn't use mine. He's like, no, it'll be okay. I'm like, all right. He proceeds to roll my 10 dice. Out of the 10 dice, the highest he rolls is a 3.
Oh, shit.
So the Lord of Change is left with 1 wound, and I still had 20 attacks to go that had sustained on a 5+. With a twin-linked lightning claws, essentially, at strength 5. So he just proceeded just to pull them up. He wouldn't even bother rolling the rest of them. Yep. That's kind of set the tone because I killed all his squishy stuff early on. He did get the secret mission because I played my cultist wrong or poorly.
Mm-hmm.
So what could have been a 16-4 win for me turned into a 12-8. Didn't really matter. John, you played against Mechanicus.
Yep.
How was that list? That was the robot list, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, once the robots were dead, it became easier, but then near the end, some things kind of went wonky. And so it didn't quite go as well as I thought it was going to. But
right.
I think I ended up getting a draw.
No, you got a 12-8.
Okay, so I got a smaller one. It should have been higher, but there was some weird stuff at the end there. Including I didn't get very good draws in my secondaries for the last one, and then he got like the perfect secondaries you could get.
Okay.
On the very last turn, so it was like, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But the wins are wins.
I got secondaries I actually needed like every turn. And especially that one turn on turn 2. That Mechanicus, it's the detachment where it buffs like the robots. The Mechanicus I played against, he had the same detachment but didn't have any robots. I forget why he took it. And then Danny, you played against Drukhari.
Yep.
And he actually did really good.
Yeah, that was what I scored 8 points, 12-8.
Yeah, you got 8-12, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that was against Stephen, I think Lindley? Lind.
Stephen Lind and Drukhari.
If you follow painting at LVO, he is almost always in the top cut for painting. He's just an amazing painter from Canada. So, we knew each other already. And It was a really fun game. I actually went fixed on that one because I knew he would struggle to kill me quickly. So I did Cleanse and Establish Locus.
Nice.
And so I would run to the center of the board or run to his side of the board and try and just score secondaries.
Yeah.
And it would take him a couple turns to kill things. And I basically just kind of ground him out. I knew he was probably going to win. And he popped this. I was ahead really, really far until turn 4. And then he started doing the secret mission and I couldn't stop it. So we basically traded sides of the table. And, he got the win. But yeah, it was a great game. He's a great opponent. It was just a fun time. But yeah, I definitely went with okay, you only have, 12 Dark Lances that hit on 4s. So chances are you're actually not going to kill me quickly.
Right.
And your incubi can only kill so many things at once. And yeah, it was a good game. I got lucky with one explosion that ended up killing a few incubi before they could hit one of my big knights and couldn't bring it down. So then he picks them up in the return swing. And I was really leaning on the fact that he could not kill me quickly, and I out OC'd him in most things. So
yeah,
it was a fun game. It was a great time.
In that round, Derek once again got 20-0 against Space Marines. Kozar got 20-0 with his Astro Militarum against Imperial Knights. Will got 20-0. Jeff got goose egged by Sisters.
Yep.
And Keith lost 2-18. In that round, we actually won that round 94-66 for our second win. So going into the last round, we were 2-3-1. So
no, we were 2-2-1.
Was it 2? Oh, 2-2-1. Yeah. And so we played against Salthammer West in the last round.
Yep.
John, you had Dark Angels.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
That was another one that didn't go the way I was expecting it to go. I think I had a small loss.
Yeah, 6. You got a 6.
Yeah. And I really thought that I was going to pull that one out and win it. And that was one where last turn he gets Bring It Down and Assassination with 2 knights, the big knights that are wounded. And so he gets on his last turn max his secondaries easily, since both of them are characters and both of them give up big Bring It Down points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Will had to leave early for that round, so we had a replacement. He got 0 points for us, unfortunately. But that one, Derek got as a Custodes mirror match, and Derek only got 3 points. Jeff got 20. I got paired in Drukhari. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Darklance Drukhari like Danny played against, because I would have preferred that. I got the maximum amount of Haywire Drukhari army.
Nice.
And that went about as well as you'd expect.
I would think so.
I did scrape together 3 points. The highlight of that game was every turn I basically rapid ingress my Warp Talons, and they just killed something every turn. Like in 2 turns, they killed a Raider and then jumped away. And then they killed the Incubi and the Archon with a 2-up invulnerable save. That was inside that Raider in the next turn.
Yep.
Because he failed his Shadow Field on like the first roll. He rolled a 1. So, and those things for Dark Eldar is it's either feast or famine. Either roll 1 early or you don't roll 1 at all. So, but he just came down and just kept on picking up, a tank or 2 every turn, and I wasn't getting the secondary. I kept on getting the secondaries that I have to be somewhere, as opposed to secondaries where I kill something.
Yeah, so those can be a lot harder.
So yeah, so it was hard for me to get secondaries. The only reason I even got the 3 points was because I went second, and because this was Scorched Earth, and because of the timing of going second, I was able to, I think it was cleanse, score, and burn the objective all on the last turn.
Nice.
To give me like 20 points at the very end and get me fucking 3 points instead of getting like 0. But Danny, you played against Thousand Suns.
I don't know if I'd use the word play. I was there. And it just got fucking deleted, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
Did you get to roll dice?
I mean, not a lot. Mostly advanced rolls. I mean, I've been playing this game a long time, and I have been mollywomped a few times, and I was definitely up there in the pantheon of like, well, okay,
really?
I guess I'll just fucking die then.
Yikes.
It's hilarious.
There's so many mortal wounds, man. Just so many mortal wounds all the time.
So the funny, well, maybe not funny, but to me, funny at the time was that By that point, by the time 6 of us were done, the game was already over. We'd already lost. They've already gotten over the threshold of 86 points. But Richard and Keith kept on playing. I think Keith knew because he got 5 points, but I don't think anyone told Richard. And Richard still tried his hardest, because God bless Richard. He still tried his hardest to get as many points as possible. I mean, it helps in the standings. But Richard got 13 points in his win over Chaos Demons. We ended up losing that game 110-50. So we ended the weekend at 2 wins, 3 losses, and a draw. So 1 point away from going 3-3. So we ended up out of 50. I think it was 56 teams. Out of 56 teams, we ended up 43rd.
Uh-huh.
So not on the top half, but we actually ended up where a lot of our opponents ended up. So the thing is though, the standings were not based on opponent game win percentage. Otherwise, we probably would have placed higher. Because Vanguard Tactics placed 9th. I'm trying to see where our better opponents did. So it was based off of how many points you earned after wins. It was based off how many points you earned as opposed to opponent game win percentage. Otherwise, you probably would have placed higher in the standings. But I think that's how they do it at WTC, and I think that's how they were scoring it for Champs Cup. So, but all in all, it was a fun weekend. I don't know if I'd do it again, only because of the cost and the fact that there's a team event in SoCal right now. but we'll see. We'll see for next year. I think they are gonna have it next year. Overall, the winner in first place was surprise Stat Check, or the 40K Dream Team.
Dream Team.
I think their lowest score was 88.
Oh damn!
Which was their second to last game. Let's see who's that against. That was against. Okay, that was against one of the Xenos Petty Zoo teams. So, I mean, when you have a stacked team, you better come. It's either first or nothing, I think, with that team. Second place was Thunder Tactics. And then third place was Xenos Petting Zoo Purple Cobras. So, but again, it was a fun weekend. It was nice to be able to play and not have to worry about the event or judge the event. From our perspective, I can only speak for myself, I guess, but from my perspective, some critiques, but I run the FLG events that are not this, so I have a different perspective as to what I thought was wrong. Because what ends up happening is people will talk to me, even though I'm playing, and this has happened at other events where I'm playing. Like when I played at SoCal Open that one time, people still came up to me to ask me questions or to tell me stuff about other players, things like that. So, but overall, it seemed to be fine. Everything seemed to be okay. Our table had very few judge calls.
I had one over the whole.
I had none.
Same. I had none.
I had one. We couldn't figure out what a piece of terrain was, whether it was
that's kind of fair
or not. So it was just a quick, "Hey, is this obscuring?" Yes, cool. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. One of our games, Keith had a few judge calls, and there's some funny stories from Keith about that.
I don't know.
And then I think in one of our rounds, Richard had a few judge calls, and there was confusion as what the judge told one player and what the actual rule is. We had a few of those. But again, it's a different perspective because literally 90% of our team are FLG or former FLG or GW judges. So,
Right.
I mean, which is probably why we didn't call for a lot of judges to begin with. So
No.
So not a lot of experience with the judges, but everything seemed to be fine. I mean, we went straight to the pool every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
In all honesty, we didn't stay for the closing ceremonies or whatever because we wanted to hang out at the pool and eat pizza and just hang out and kind of like
be with the team.
I made the comment afterwards of like, once I sat down, I knew we were done. I could feel myself begin to decompress.
Yeah.
Afterwards. So I think I just needed that after the weekend because I got, for me personally, I have to admit it was much more stressful playing than running an event. I don't know about you, Danny.
I don't know. That pool helped a lot. So
it did.
I don't get to just dip in the pool at LBO. So
I mean, you can. I'm not stopping you.
Not really. It's usually closed.
Yeah. See.
Just have your two-way with you.
I mean, I can see that. I definitely felt some pressure at times, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just different. It's a different kind of pressure.
Yeah, I guess. You didn't feel any pressure at all weekend.
No, that's not true. The second game, first day, I was like, I should just win this. Like, I really need to try, but then it didn't happen, so whatever.
Oh.
But yeah, once I knew our team was out of contention, I no longer really cared.
You mean after they told us what the first round pairing was?
Basically. After the first round was over and we lost, I was like, cool, I can just kind of do whatever now. And I was trying to win the games, but like it wasn't as stressful, that's for sure.
I think the fact that we lost the first two games helped because by that point we were basically playing against teams in a similar situation, and most of those teams seemed pretty chill. I didn't have any issues with my opponents. 90%, 99% of the opponents we had as a team seemed to be pretty chill.
Oh man, I had nothing but gems of games. So,
well, I mean, you also scored like on average like a half a point every game. So
yeah, well, they're still gems.
I think my average came to 8 points per game. I think John's was 5 and Danny was 2. I think.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, 2. I think Danny, you were at like 1.5 or 2 points.
Whatever.
So, but it was fun. John, you had okay opponents.
Demand a recount. Yeah, I had all enjoyable games. I guess my last round opponent was concerned that I was upset because he talked to Jeff about it, and I was like, no, I wasn't.
He wanted to know if you were okay.
Yeah,
which I find hilarious.
Yeah,
knowing you.
Yeah, well, because I'm pretty even keeled and I don't give much away. And it's like, okay, well, whatever happens, happens.
Maybe that's why. Maybe because you didn't emote enough.
Probably not. But also, like, I think he probably caught on that the very, very end of that game where like he literally drew exactly what he needed was irksome.
Yeah.
But I don't think I let on. I usually don't.
I usually make a comment because I knew from my game once that first couple rounds into all the haywire, I just knew it was over. I'm like, and I made the comment. I was like, well, I can't quit because Jeff will get mad at me. I don't want Jeff mad at me.
Yeah, no, you can't quit.
But yeah, but all my opponents were fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was. Luckily, they weren't, and I think that's what I was most worried about was getting paired into someone that was like taking it super serious, even though we're all like 0-3,
which we got out of the way round 1, and then we didn't have to worry about any tryhards, which is great.
For the most part, it was fine. You know, I wasn't too like in one of the games we were talking about it, and I wasn't too concerned about stuff because he's like, well, I can see this guy, right? And I'm just like, I just look at it, and it looks kind of iffy, but I was just like, sure, why not? I don't care.
Yeah, sure, guy, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it was fine. The army played the way it was supposed to. So I scored the points that I could, and some were good, some were bad, or not bad, just low, and so it wasn't too bad. I did. Jeff said I did better than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to do shit. So I think that's more pressure that I put on myself than anything else.
That's fair.
Because I didn't want to let the team down, because my list, I wasn't bringing like a night list or like maybe if I brought the 3 Lords of Skulls,
yeah,
like we initially talked, then I thought to me that's a silly list, and I don't expect it to do well. So I don't. But the list I brought was actually a list from like a top tier team,
right? So you were tryharding.
So I was think that was the way the list performed. I think is the way the list is supposed to operate in a team setting,
right?
We also so if I would suggest people play in a team tournament, a 5 or 8 man.
Yeah, it was fun.
That because there's usually more after the first like 5 or 6 codexes. There's a bit more diversity, because we saw a lot of the same codexes against every team, but then like the last like 3 or 4 were different, like Dark Eldar, Votan, orcs, but we always saw like, demons, Thousand Suns, Space Marines. There's a lot of common armies that were in there. So
yeah,
but it was fine. I know you guys had fun, as far as I know.
All right, again,
I had a great time.
So it was fine. Like I said, so it was pretty good. We did finish. I finished my league, because I used the league to practice for the event. In my last game, I made a couple changes and used Raptors instead of Warp Talons, because they're cheaper, and I put 2 man, so it's easier to get things like behind enemy lines and engage it on fronts. And I won my last game, but I should. So a common theme with my list, apparently, everybody I played against told me that their team was afraid to play against my list.
It's a good fucking list. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, apparently, because when I played Mauricio with his Eldar, he told me this is not what he was expecting. And we basically finished our game in like an hour and a half, because I killed all his anti-tank stuff.
Right.
And then just killed everything else. And I think he killed... It's funny, because he killed Abaddon with a solitaire. And then he killed 1 5-man Raptor squad, and that was it. So it was... So I don't know. I don't know if I'm playing in the next league yet. I may take a break, because I got to get ready for LVO and SoCal Open, which is coming up next.
Right.
Package should be out soon, if it's not out by the time this goes on air. And hopefully if there's an update or a balanced data slate or points update, it's like this week or next week, and not the week leading up to the rules cutoff.
Nice. That would be nice. Fantastic.
Well, Tampa's in like a couple weeks.
That's true.
So they may wait till after Tampa.
Probably. That would make sense, right?
So we'll see. But looking forward to SoCal Open. It'll be myself, Keith judging, and we also have someone, Jason McKenzie, who's I believe is helping judge. I'm not 100% sure yet. And he's someone I've known for a long time. He's local to our area and a very good player and very good with the rules. So he'll be a good asset to have for that weekend. So, but I think we've rambled on long enough.
Fair enough, too.
I don't think there's anything else. Oh, there's one thing. If you're familiar with Seth, the Mad Doc, from when he was on Signals or when he had his own channel, he is doing a new show for War Games Live, kind of a little show in between rounds It's about 20 minutes long. If you remember the show, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's based on, but it's 40K related. So I was on the initial episode. You can see it on, just look up Seth the Mad Doc on YouTube. You can find it there. I'll put a link in the description. Give it a watch. Actually won my round, my that episode where I complain about Eldar.
Nice.
I go on a rant about Eldar in Blood Bowl.
Good times.
I go into old man rant about Eldar.
Excellent.
So,
I approve wholeheartedly.
I actually won that round.
Nice.
But I think I'll be on the next episode as a returning champ. So we'll see how that goes. But give it a listen if you can. Give them some love, and I believe that is it. I'm pretty sure there's more. Like, we could talk about the Blood Angel release, but I don't really want to talk about it.
Nah.
I'm assuming it's a 2-week window. I think it comes out the same weekend as SoCal Open, so it's a non-factor right now because it's not going to miss. It's going to miss the cutoff. So
Right. Okay.
There is Epic Mechanicus. They showed the battle group for that, for those that still play Epic. But other than that, I don't know what else is out because I forgot. But still trying to get ready for SoCal. So we'll call it here for the night. John?
Yeah?
Any pearls of wisdom?
Pearls of wisdom? Like from the event?
Whatever you want. Life, the event.
Yeah. Check to make sure you have your wallet before you get out of an Uber.
Or your credit card if you leave it at the restaurant.
Either one. Both. Why not both?
They both apply to someone in this show.
I don't know who you're talking about.
That shall remain nameless.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just life advice. This is basic life advice. That's all I'm giving.
Basic life advice.
Mm-hmm.
Danny.
Play games, be nice to each other, and I just want to apologize to everyone.
Oh my god. You got double digits.
It was a good fucking time. But yeah, play games, be nice to each other. Even if you get your ass kicked, you can still smile and laugh about it.
Very good, Danny. Always with the positive.
Yeah.
John is more of the practical.
Yes.
Mm.
Don't forget your wallet. Don't forget your card.
These are also key things.
Yeah. It's true.
But once again, thank you everybody for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on podcast, make sure to subscribe to get all the updates for that. I believe our next episode will be right before SoCal Open, so hopefully we have more information by that time. And we'll have a new Pod Save the Imperium episode to upload next week. Mm-hmm. But until then, good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Laters.
See ya.